Sometimes the greatest discoveries don't happen in high-tech labs or boardrooms. Sometimes they happen in the most unexpected places. And today, we're about to witness a story that proves just that. The late afternoon sun hung low over the city, casting a golden glow over the busy streets of Los Angeles. Elon Musk barely noticed. His mind was a whirlwind of upcoming meetings, production deadlines, and a dozen unread messages from Tesla's headquarters. He had 5 minutes, just 5, to grab a quick bite before diving back into the chaos of building the future. His sleek, black Tesla Model X glided into the parking lot of Shake Shack, the smell of sizzling burgers and crispy fries wafting through the air. It wasn't his usual stop, but hunger had a way of making even the busiest minds surrender. "Haven't had one of these in a while," Elon muttered to himself as he stepped out, adjusting his leather jacket against the cool evening breeze. He wasn't the type to sit down. Drive-thru would do. As his car rolled forward to the first window, a voice crackled through the speaker. "Welcome to Shake Shack. Give me 1 sec, our system's acting up today." A flicker of annoyance crossed Elon's face. His time was precious, but then something in that voice caught his attention. It wasn't the words. It was the way they were spoken. Precise, calculated, like someone used to diagnosing problems, not just taking orders. A few seconds later, the screen flickered back to life. "All right, system's back. What can I get for you?" Elon hesitated, curiosity piqued. "That was fast." "What did you do?" he asked casually. "Quick reboot and patch the code. Just a small glitch in the system." That wasn't typical fast food worker talk. Elon frowned, studying the figure at the window as he pulled up. A man, maybe in his early 30s, with tired eyes and a name tag that read Ethan. Something about him felt familiar. And then, like a lightning bolt, it hit him. Wait a second. Ethan Navarro? The moment Ethan heard his name, his entire body tensed. His grip on the cash register tightened. His eyes flicked up, locking onto Elon's in a mixture of recognition and shame. He knew exactly who was staring back at him. Elon Musk, his former boss. And just like that, the world around them seemed to freeze. Who is Ethan Navarro, and how did one of Tesla's brightest minds end up working at a Shake Shack drive-thru? Stay with me, because this story is about to take a turn you won't believe. How does a mind built for innovation end up stuck in a fast food drive-thru? What happened to Ethan Navarro, and why did his name, once whispered in Tesla's engineering halls, suddenly vanish? Let's go back, 6 months ago, to the moment everything changed. 6 months earlier, a star on the rise. Ethan Navarro was once a rising star. His name carried weight in Tesla's engineering division, not because of office politics or networking, but because of sheer brilliance. If a battery system was failing, Ethan was the guy who could fix it. If a cooling model wasn't efficient, he was the one who stayed up for 72 hours straight reworking the equations. He wasn't just another engineer, he was one of the best. But brilliance doesn't always guarantee security. Inside Tesla's cutthroat corporate jungle, talent wasn't the only currency. There were power plays, egos, and the unspoken rule. Innovate, but don't outshine the wrong people. And Ethan? He was about to break that rule in the worst way possible. The night everything changed, Ethan stood in Tesla's high-security R&D lab, staring at the screen in front of him. His heart pounded. The numbers didn't make sense. The new battery prototype, one that the company had billions riding on, was failing under stress tests. But it wasn't just failing. It was dangerous. A miscalculation in the cooling structure meant that under high temperatures, the battery had a 5.8% chance of catastrophic failure. In the world of electric cars, that meant fire, lawsuits, and recalls that could cripple Tesla's momentum. Ethan ran the numbers again. No mistake, this was real. He had 2 options. 1, report the issue, knowing it would delay the project and put him at odds with senior executives who were under pressure from investors. 2, stay silent, let the project move forward and hope that luck was on their side. For Ethan, there was never a choice. He compiled his findings into a detailed report, backed by undeniable data, and sent it to his supervisor, Victor Chambers, Tesla's senior engineering director. Slide aside, Victor Chambers, Tesla's senior engineering director. The response? Silence. For an entire week, no one acknowledged the report. No emergency meetings, no concern, nothing. Ethan started to worry. If no one was addressing it, that meant they were ignoring it on purpose. Then, one Friday afternoon, his security badge stopped working. Ethan frowned, swiping again at the glass entrance doors to the Tesla R&D building. Access denied. That's when he felt a hand on his shoulder. Security. "Mr. Navarro, please come with us." The walk to HR felt like a death march. Inside a small, cold conference room, Victor Chambers sat across from him, flanked by Tesla's legal department. No eye contact, no explanation. Then, a single piece of paper slid across the table. "Termination notice, effective immediately. You falsified test results," Victor said flatly. "We cannot tolerate data manipulation." Ethan's chest tightened. "What? That's a lie. I was warning you about—" "We've reviewed the evidence," Victor interrupted, "and your conduct violates Tesla's integrity standards. Your employment is terminated." The room spun. His entire career, his years of work, his sleepless nights, his breakthroughs, all reduced to a single accusation that wasn't even true. He had been framed, and just like that, it was over. The downfall. Ethan tried to fight back. He demanded an internal review. Tesla refused. He reached out to former colleagues. No one wanted to get involved. He called Elon's office directly. No response. He was blacklisted. No other top engineering firm would touch him. The moment recruiters saw "terminated for data manipulation" on his record, doors slammed shut. Then his personal life unraveled. Without income, bills piled up. His wife, already exhausted from the stress of raising their 7-year-old daughter Ava, made a choice. "I can't do this, Ethan." She packed her bags and took Ava with her. 1 month after his firing, his bank account hit zero. 1 month after that, he was sleeping in his car. Then came the job at Shake Shack. Minimum wage. Fast food grease. People yelling at him over missing fries. It was humiliating, but it was survival. The brilliant Tesla engineer, who once designed billion-dollar battery systems, now spent his nights scrubbing cheese sauce off fryer baskets. And the worst part? He stopped believing in himself. Back to the present, Elon's realization. Ethan stared at the ground, avoiding Elon's gaze. "I need to keep this line moving, Mr. Musk. Please, proceed to the next window." His voice was tight, controlled. Elon didn't move. Something about this didn't add up. This was Ethan Navarro, a man who had revolutionized battery tech at Tesla, and now he was fixing Shake Shack registers? "What the hell happened to you?" Elon asked, voice low. Ethan flinched. His supervisor walked past behind him, and for a brief moment, Elon saw it, the flicker of fear in Ethan's eyes. Something was very, very wrong. Instead of driving away after getting his order, Elon pulled into a parking spot. He wasn't leaving. He took out his phone and searched through old emails. There it was. Personnel notice. Ethan Navarro, employment terminated. No details, no context, just a cold bureaucratic erasure of one of Tesla's best engineers. His stomach twisted. Then, he sent a text to his assistant. "Find out why Ethan Navarro was fired. Urgent." Through the window, he watched Ethan work. Even here, he was different. When the register froze, Ethan didn't call for help. He fixed it himself, in seconds. Elon's mind raced. How does a genius like Ethan Navarro end up flipping burgers? And more importantly, what did Tesla do to him? Elon Musk isn't the type to ignore a mystery. And this one? It's personal. Stay with me, because what happens next will shake the foundations of Tesla itself. Something didn't add up. A brilliant engineer discarded like trash? Elon Musk wasn't the type to walk away from questions like that. And what he was about to uncover? It was far bigger than just Ethan Navarro. The first clue, a suspicious silence sitting in his Tesla, burger untouched. Elon tapped his fingers on the steering wheel. His assistant, Caitlin, texted back within minutes. "No official reason for termination, just standard HR wording. But I pulled some internal records. Ethan was working on the Model S battery cooling system right before he was fired. Something feels off." Elon exhaled sharply. "That's an understatement." He scrolled through old reports, finding the cooling project Ethan had led. Tesla had been struggling with overheating issues, then suddenly it was fixed. But here's what didn't make sense. Ethan was fired just days before the breakthrough was announced. His replacement, Victor Chambers? The same guy who signed off on Ethan's termination. No one at Tesla talked about Ethan's contributions. It was like he had been erased. Elon hated coincidences. His gut told him there was a cover-up, and he wasn't leaving it alone. "Caitlin, I need everything you can find on Victor Chambers. Emails, project files, personal records. If he sneezed near Tesla HQ, I want to know about it. Guys, if you're still watching, hit that like button right now, because this investigation is about to take a wild turn, and trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next." Digging deeper, a hidden betrayal. By midnight, Caitlin had sent over a massive file. "This took some digging. You're not going to like what I found." Elon opened the folder, and there it was. Emails between Victor and Tesla's HR director. "Ethan Navarro is becoming a liability. If he keeps pushing this report, it could stall production. We need him out before Monday." "Understood. We'll handle it quietly." Monday was the day Ethan was fired. Victor hadn't fired him for falsifying data. He'd fired him because he was exposing the truth. Elon's jaw clenched. His heart pounded. They had silenced Ethan to protect their own careers, and worse. Tesla had launched the battery cooling system Ethan designed, claiming it was Victor's work. Elon slammed his fist against the dashboard. They stole his work, took credit, then destroyed him. He had seen corporate betrayal before, but this was personal. He needed to talk to Ethan now. The confrontation, Ethan's breaking point. By the time Elon pulled up outside Shake Shack, the place was closing. Ethan stepped outside, still in his uniform, exhaustion written all over his face. "You again?" Ethan said, frowning. Elon didn't waste time. "We need to talk." Ethan stiffened. "About what?" "About why Tesla fired you." Ethan let out a hollow laugh. "Let me guess. They told you I faked data? They lied." Ethan's breath hitched. "I have the emails," Elon continued. "Victor set you up. He knew you were onto the overheating problem. He got rid of you, stole your work, and took credit for fixing it." Ethan's hands clenched into fists. For months he had lived in shame, believing he had failed. And now, "They stole everything from me," he whispered. Elon nodded. "And I'm going to fix it." But Ethan shook his head. "You don't get it. It's not just about me." "What do you mean?" Ethan's eyes darkened. "That cooling system they launched? The one they claimed was perfected?" "Yeah?" Ethan swallowed hard. "It's still flawed. If they push those batteries into full-scale production, the failures won't be rare. They'll be everywhere." Elon's blood ran cold. "Guys, if you thought this was just about one man's career being ruined, think again. This just became a race against time. Hit subscribe, because this story is far from over." Tesla's biggest scandal, and a race against time. Elon didn't sleep that night. Instead, he called an emergency meeting at Tesla HQ. By 8 a.m., the top engineers, legal team, and board members sat in a high-rise conference room not knowing what was coming. Elon walked in, laptop in hand. No greeting, no pleasantries. Just cold, sharp focus. Without a word, he connected his laptop to the projector. The emails appeared on screen. HR conspiring with Victor, the stolen research, the manipulated test results. A stunned silence filled the room. Then Elon spoke. "Ethan Navarro didn't fake data. He found a dangerous flaw in our battery cooling system. He tried to warn us. Instead, he was fired. His work was stolen, and now, because of that mistake, our next-gen Model S could have a catastrophic failure rate." Gasps. Panic. Someone whispered, "Oh my God, we're shutting down production immediately," Elon said. "And we're fixing this the right way." A senior board member cleared his throat. "But what about Victor?" Elon turned to Caitlin. "Where is he now?" She smirked. "Packing his office. I sent the termination notice an hour ago." Victor was done. A call that changes everything. As the meeting ended, Elon stepped onto the balcony, phone in hand. He dialed Ethan. "Hey." Ethan answered cautiously. "I want you back at Tesla." Silence. Then, "What?" "Come back, lead the team, finish what you've started." Ethan closed his eyes. For months he had convinced himself he was done, that he didn't belong in that world anymore, but deep down, he still loved the work. He still wanted to build something that mattered. "I have a daughter, Elon. I can't risk stability again." "You won't have to." Name your terms. I'll make it happen. Ethan swallowed hard, and for the first time in months, hope flickered inside him. What happens next? Can Ethan truly rebuild his life? And will he finally get the recognition he deserves? The story's not over, so make sure you're subscribed, because the next chapter is coming soon. They stole his work, they took everything from him, but now, Ethan Navarro is coming back, and he's about to shake Tesla to its core. The return, walking back into the lion's den. The doors to Tesla HQ felt heavier than Ethan remembered. It had been 9 months since he walked out of this building in shame. 9 months of regret, of struggling to survive, of wondering if he'd ever get a second chance. And now? Now, Elon Musk himself had called him back. "You ready for this?" Elon asked, standing beside him at the entrance. Ethan exhaled slowly. "Not really, but let's do it anyway." With that, they stepped inside. A shocking reception. The moment Ethan walked into the engineering floor, conversations stopped. Whispers, stares. Some people looked confused. Others, downright hostile. Victor Chambers had spent months poisoning the well, spreading the story that Ethan had faked test results. And even though Victor was gone, his shadow still lingered. Ethan felt the weight of every pair of eyes on him, like an accused man standing trial. Then, a voice rang out. "Navarro?" Aisha, one of the senior engineers, stepped forward. She looked stunned. "They said you—" She hesitated. "That you faked? I didn't," Ethan said firmly. She studied him for a long moment. Then, she nodded. "Good, because we need you." And just like that, the ice cracked. A few others approached, cautiously at first, then more. One by one they came forward, but not everyone was welcoming. A sharp voice cut through the air. "This is a joke, right?" Ethan turned to see Derek Vaughn, one of Victor's closest allies. Arms crossed, face twisted with anger. They bring back the guy who nearly ruined this company? What kind of circus is Musk running here? The room tensed. All eyes were on Elon now. Elon smirked. "The kind that doesn't tolerate fraud?" Derek's face darkened. "You seriously expect us to trust him?" Elon didn't even blink. "I don't expect you to trust him. I expect you to watch him succeed." Silence. Derek scoffed, shook his head and walked away. But Ethan knew this was far from over. The new mission, a problem even bigger than before. Elon led Ethan into a glass-walled conference room. Inside, stacks of reports were piled high on the table. "What's all this?" Ethan asked. Elon slid a folder toward him. "The battery issue isn't solved, Ethan. You were right. Victor rushed production, ignored your warnings, and now," he tapped the papers, "we have a ticking time bomb in every new Model S on the road." Ethan's stomach dropped. "How bad is it?" Elon's jaw tightened. "We're looking at a 12% failure rate within the first year. If we don't fix this, we're talking mass recalls, lawsuits, cars catching fire, Tesla's biggest scandal ever." Ethan's mind raced. This wasn't just about clearing his name anymore. This was about saving Tesla from disaster. He grabbed the reports. "Give me 48 hours. Elon grinned. "That's what I was hoping you'd say." Guys, if you've made it this far, hit that like button right now, because Ethan is about to go all in on fixing the mess they blamed him for, and trust me, you won't believe what happens next. The midnight breakthrough. Ethan didn't sleep. For 2 straight days he buried himself in the problem, running simulations, testing new cooling designs, combing through Victor's work to see exactly what corners he had cut. And at 2:47 a.m. he found it. A tiny miscalculation in the coolant flow pattern. At first glance it looked insignificant, but over time, it would cause catastrophic overheating. Ethan jumped to his feet. "That's it!" He grabbed his phone and called Elon. "We've got the fix." The redemption test? Can he prove them wrong? By the next morning, the Tesla engineering team gathered in the test lab. This was it. Ethan had proposed a radical fix, one that would require massive changes to the battery design. Derek Vaughn, still bitter, crossed his arms. "This better work, Navarro, because if it doesn't, you'll be the joke of Tesla all over again." Ethan ignored him. He focused on the screen, watching as the prototype battery underwent extreme heat testing. Minutes passed. Then, The results appeared. Cooling efficiency, 34% improvement, failure rate near zero. The room erupted. Aisha laughed. Holy, Navarro, you actually did it. But Derek? His face went pale. Elon clapped Ethan on the back. Guess you're not the joke after all. And just like that, Ethan Navarro proved every last one of them wrong. But guys, this story isn't over yet. Because what happens next? It's going to shake Tesla even more. Hit subscribe, because you're not ready for the final chapter. Ethan Navarro just saved Tesla from disaster. But what if I told you he's about to change the entire electric vehicle industry? The bigger vision, a chance to rewrite history. Ethan stared at the cooling system test results, his mind racing. 34% more efficient, near zero failure rate. This wasn't just a fix. This was something more. Elon, we're thinking too small. Elon, leaning against the lab table, raised an eyebrow. Oh, Ethan grabbed a marker and started scribbling equations on the glass board. We're so focused on solving overheating, but what if we went beyond that? What if we made the entire battery system smarter, self-regulating, self-optimizing? Instead of just preventing overheating, what if we designed a cooling system that adapts dynamically in real time? Elon's eyes lit up. Like a biological system. Exactly, Ethan nodded. Like how our bodies regulate temperature automatically. Instead of a rigid preset cooling cycle, the battery could adjust based on conditions. Weather, driving habits, energy demand. Elon grinned. Navarro, I think you just cracked the next revolution in EV batteries. The new tech, a battery that thinks for itself. Ethan and his team went all in. For weeks they worked around the clock refining the adaptive thermal optimization system, a new cooling model using AI-driven temperature regulation. Instead of working like a traditional cooling system, this one predicted heat fluctuations before they happened, adjusting airflow and energy distribution in real time. Simulation results: 50% longer battery lifespan, drastically reduced charging time, increased vehicle range by 22%. This wasn't just an improvement, it was a revolution. And Elon Musk? He knew exactly what to do next. We're going public with this. The live reveal. Tesla shocks the world. What you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about electric vehicles. The lights dimmed. A massive Tesla press event was about to begin. The stage was sleek, futuristic. Thousands of journalists, investors, and industry leaders packed the auditorium. Millions more were watching online. Elon Musk stepped onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Tesla is making history once again. The crowd roared. Electric cars have always been limited by one thing: the battery, charging times, efficiency, longevity. Well, those limits are now gone. Behind him, a screen flashed to life. Introducing Tesla's first intelligent battery system. The audience froze. Elon continued. This new system, designed by some of the greatest minds at Tesla, he turned toward the side of the stage, including one who just recently rejoined us. The crowd shifted. And then, Ethan Navarro stepped onto the stage. The cameras zoomed in. The man who had been fired, humiliated, and cast aside just months ago now stood at the center of Tesla's biggest breakthrough. Ethan took a deep breath and spoke directly to the world. We didn't just improve the battery, we made it intelligent. This system learns how you drive, anticipates how to optimize power, and extends the lifespan of your vehicle like never before. Gasps from the crowd. Elon stepped in. With this technology, our cars will charge faster, last longer, and drive further than any EV on the market. The audience exploded into applause. Tesla had just changed the game. The fellow Tesla's competitors panicked. The moment the event ended, Tesla's stock skyrocketed. But behind closed doors, the EV industry was in chaos. Inside Ford HQ, how the hell did they develop this in 6 months? Inside GM, if we don't match this, we're dead in the water. Inside Volkswagen, we need to delay our EV launch. There's no point competing with this. Tesla had leapfrogged the competition overnight. And at the center of it all, Ethan Navarro. The shocking offer. A secret meeting. Just when Ethan thought his battle was over, someone made him an offer he never saw coming. Late one night, as Ethan was leaving Tesla HQ, a black SUV pulled up beside him. The window rolled down, revealing a familiar face. Derek Vaughn. Ethan's stomach tightened. "What do you want?" Derek smirked. "Relax, Navarro. I'm here to talk business." Ethan hesitated. Then, against his better judgment, he got in. Inside the SUV, Derek slid a contract across the seat. Ethan picked it up and nearly choked. $50 million. Derek leaned in. "Leave Tesla. Come work for us. Help us build something even better." Ethan's hands clenched. "You spent months trying to destroy me. Now you want to hire me?" Derek chuckled. "I never hated you, Navarro. I just hated that you were better than me." Ethan stared at the contract. $50 million. A life-changing amount of money. But then he thought of Elon, of his team, of the future they were building. He slowly placed the contract back down. "You know what, Derek?" he said, voice steady. "Screw you." Then he opened the door and walked away. The legacy, what comes next? Ethan Navarro turned down $50 million to stand by Tesla. But this is just the beginning. Tesla's intelligent battery system rolled out across every new model. Within a year, Tesla's market share doubled. Gas-powered cars dropped to a record low. Ethan was promoted to Senior VP of Energy Innovation, and at the next Tesla event, Elon Musk stood beside him once more. People doubted Ethan Navarro. They said he didn't belong. But today, he's the reason Tesla is leading the future of electric cars. The crowd roared. Ethan looked out at them, taking it all in. Just months ago, he had been serving fries at a McDonald's drive-thru. Now, he was shaping the future. Guys, this is what second chances are all about. If you loved this story, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. Would you have taken the $50 million? And don't forget, subscribe for more insane stories like this. Because trust me, we're just getting started. Ethan Navarro thought the battle was over. But some ghosts don't stay buried, and one man was about to return with a plan to destroy everything Ethan had built. The unexpected warning. It started with a phone call. Ethan was in the Tesla R&D lab, tweaking the final optimizations for the intelligent battery system's mass rollout, when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated, then picked up. "Ethan Navarro?" a voice whispered. "Who is this?" "You don't know me, but you need to listen. Someone's coming for you." Ethan's stomach tightened. "What are you talking about?" The voice lowered. "Connor Whitman is back, and he's about to pull the biggest move of his career. You need to be careful." Then, click, the call ended. It had been years since he last heard that name. The ghost from the past. Connor Whitman was a former Tesla executive, once Elon Musk's right-hand man. A brilliant strategist, but also a ruthless corporate manipulator. 5 years ago, after an internal corruption scandal, Elon had him fired and blacklisted from the EV industry. No one had seen him since, until now. The first DAC to Tesla stock plunges. The attack didn't start with guns or lawsuits. It started with something even more dangerous. By the next morning, Tesla's stock price had plummeted. 17% drop overnight, major investors pulling out. A mysterious report leaked claiming Tesla's intelligent battery had catastrophic failure risks. The media frenzy exploded. Tesla's new battery might be a ticking time bomb. Inside reports reveal safety concerns in Tesla's latest innovation. Has Elon Musk's biggest gamble backfired? Ethan rushed to Tesla HQ. Inside the executive meeting room, Elon Musk sat at the head of the table, arms crossed, watching news reports flood in. "It's a hit job," Elon said, voice eerily calm. "Someone fed the media false data, someone with deep connections in this industry." Ethan clenched his jaw. "It's Connor, isn't it?" Elon didn't blink. "I'd bet my entire net worth on it." The reveal, Connor's return. Hours later, the truth surfaced. A press conference, a familiar face, a shocking announcement. Connor Whitman stepped onto the stage. Alive, confident, and back in power. Tesla has been misleading the public. Their new battery system is unstable and dangerous. And that's why today, I'm announcing my return to fix what Tesla broke. The screen behind him flashed. Introducing Vortex Energy Solutions, a direct Tesla competitor, a company backed by Tesla's old investors, the same ones who had just pulled out, and at the bottom of the screen, CEO Connor Whitman. The entire room erupted in chaos. The secret deal, An offer Ethan can't neglect. Connor had returned, but what came next? Ethan never saw it coming. Later that night, Ethan was in his office when his door creaked open. A manila envelope landed on his desk, no sender, no explanation. Inside, a contract, $75 million offer. Position, Chief Engineer at Vortex Energy Solutions. Condition, leave Tesla and never work with Elon Musk again. And at the bottom, a handwritten note. You have 48 hours. Choose wisely. Connor Whitman. Ethan felt his blood boil. This wasn't just about taking him down. Connor wanted to rip Tesla apart from the inside. The counterattack. Excellent Musk's next move. Ethan had a choice. But when he told Elon, the Tesla CEO had a plan of his own. You're not actually considering this, are you? Elon asked. Of course not, Ethan scoffed. But Connor isn't playing around. He has Tesla's ex-investors, he has money, he has the media in his pocket. Elon smirked. Then let's hit back harder. Elon stood up. Connor built his empire on lies, so we're going to expose the truth. The trap setting up Connor Whitman. Sometimes the best move isn't to attack, it's to let your enemy expose himself. Elon and Ethan hatched a plan. Step 1. Let Connor believe Ethan was considering the offer. Step 2. Lure him into a direct negotiation. Step 3. Expose his corruption. Live on camera. The final showdown. One secret meeting, one hidden camera, and one moment that would destroy Connor Whitman forever. Connor Whitman arrived at a luxury hotel penthouse, expecting to finalize Ethan's defection. But what he didn't know? Tesla had bugged the entire room. Hidden microphones, secret cameras, a live streaming setup, broadcasting everything to key Tesla allies. As the conversation unfolded, Connor grew cockier. Ethan, you made the right choice. Tesla is done. Elon is done. In 6 months, no one will even remember his name. Then, he laughed. We fed the media fake reports, bought out his investors. It was almost too easy. Ethan leaned back. So you admit it, huh? Connor smirked. Why does it matter? No one will know. Just then, the door burst open. Elon Musk walked in. Behind him, journalists, cameras. Connor's face drained of color. The hidden livestream had just exposed him to the entire world. The fall of Connor Whitman. One moment, one mistake, and everything came crashing down. By the next morning, news outlets were exploding with headlines. Connor Whitman caught in massive fraud scandal. Elon Musk's brilliant counterattack destroys rival. Tesla's stock recovers after public expose. Vortex collapsed overnight. Connor Whitman was arrested for fraud, conspiracy, and corporate espionage. And Tesla? Their stock soared to record highs. Ethan Navarro was officially promoted to Tesla's Chief of Battery Innovation. The intelligent battery system began global production. Ethan had just survived the biggest battle of his life. And as he stood beside Elon, looking at the Tesla factory buzzing with activity, he realized this was just the beginning. The world had next. Ethan Navarro took on the industry's biggest villain, and won. But what happens next? Well, that's a story for another day. If you loved this wild ride, hit that like button. Comment below. What was the most shocking moment for you? And don't forget, subscribe for more insane stories like this. Trust me, the next chapter is even crazier. In life, some doors close, but if you keep pushing forward, the right one will always open. Looking back from the drive-thru to changing the future, Ethan Navarro stood at the Tesla Gigafactory, watching as the first intelligent battery systems rolled off the assembly line. This was it, the innovation that would reshape the electric vehicle industry forever. And to think, just a few months ago, he was flipping burgers at a McDonald's drive-thru, believing his career was over. The world had given up on him. But Elon Musk hadn't, because sometimes, all it takes is one person who sees your potential, even when no one else does. The power of second chances. Elon approached, standing beside him. It's wild, isn't it? He said, hands in his pockets. You went from making minimum wage to making history. Ethan chuckled. Yeah, not exactly the career path I had planned. Elon smiled. No one's career path is straight. Life knocks us down, it tests us, but the ones who keep getting up, they're the ones who change the world. Ethan looked around at the factory. the engineers, the technology. For so long, he thought he had lost everything. But maybe getting fired wasn't the end of his journey. Maybe it was the beginning of something greater. Because second chances aren't just about redemption, they're about realizing your worth, even when the world tells you otherwise. Ethan Navarro's final message. Ethan stepped forward, staring at the Tesla logo glowing above the factory floor, and for the first time in a long time, he felt whole again. Turning back to the camera, he spoke directly to us. To you. If you've ever felt like you've lost your way, if you've ever been told you weren't good enough, I want you to remember something. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. People will doubt you. Life will knock you down. But what matters isn't how many times you fall. What matters is how many times you get back up. Because you never know when your next opportunity, your next second chance, could be waiting just around the corner. Join the movement. Like, comment, and subscribe. If this story inspired you, hit that like button. Let's make sure more people see this message of hope. Comment below. What's a moment in your life where you got a second chance? I'd love to hear your story. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got more incredible stories coming your way. Stories of redemption, resilience, and the people who refuse to give up. Because remember, the world may try to write you off, but your story isn't over yet. This is just the beginning.